Hello and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. A lot of things happening on this show tonight. Of course, a lot of changes are happening, especially in the next few weeks. But is that making the show any better tonight? On some part, maybe yes. On some part, maybe no. But since they still got Bill in the Hell in a Cell, San Diego, California was where they were live from tonight. And where did they kick it off with? Seth Rollins coming out. Pretty much talking about what happened last week as he was beaten up by 5 people, but he stood a nightmare in the face as he pretty much sat there looking scared, hoping to wake up from a nightmare. But it was a nightmare. Well, wanted to wake up from a bad dream. But pretty much says he must step in the Hell in a Cell and defend his title against Bray Wyatt at Hell in a Cell. And pretty much his back has been against the wall before. And he talked about surviving and prevailing a lot. That no one gave him a chance, but he still survived against Lesnar and Braun Strowman. And now he said he's going to make it past Bray Wyatt and survive and prevail. But as he continued to talk, Braun Strowman came out, pretty much looked at Seth Rollins then, saying, unlike your opponent in Hell in a Cell, I don't dress up like Mr. Rogers and play psycho games, saying it's his fault that we lost the tag team titles, and you want to hope you never get a rematch against me again, and everything. But Rollins pretty much tried to say, listen, I got a lot on my plate right now. I've already beaten you at Hell in a Clash of Champions, which he messed that line up, by the way. He said Hell in a Clash of Champions, but I thought that was kind of funny. Even though he botched it. But, he said he has to worry about, this Fatal 5-Way tonight and the season premiere of Raw, which I'm going to say something about that pretty soon, too. But, pretty much, Rollins said, you want to come out here, you want to get in my face, and you want to fight. And Strowman said if that was a challenge, you can get these hands tonight, as he dropped the mic and walked off then. So, fans trying to get these hands. I don't really want to see another Strowman and Seth Rollins match, to be honest. I was actually surprised they were doing this tonight, but they're going to do it anyway, so there you go on that. One thing I will say before I move on with this review about this whole season premiere of Raw thing next week. Listen, I know they got some new graphics up, which, they look okay. I think they were alright. And, a couple new music. I don't know if Pyro's coming back in that. I'm not sure, but I heard it was probably for SmackDown also, maybe because of the whole AEW thing and they want to compete with. But, it's hard to say it's a season premiere if the show never really takes a break. It's every week, okay? And I remember they did this about a year ago or two, and everybody can say it's a new era, all they want. It's still the same era to me right now, but they did this like a year ago when the current graphics you see on Monday Night Raw right now, the current ones, they said that was new. And it was a season premiere. It's the same show every week, okay? It's just like you slapping just a new coat of paint on it, but it's still the same freaking show. So how does it make it really any different? I know SmackDown's going to be different due to Fox and all that stuff, but it's hard to call Raw different saying it's a season premiere when it's the same show pretty much every week. So I wouldn't particularly call it a season premiere. Okay, you're seeing the same thing. You just got some new graphics. So, what exactly makes this a season premiere of Raw? I asked you this. What makes it? It's the same shit you see every week here, people. Okay? So, there you go. But next thing after that, the OC came out with AJ Styles. They had some new music, by the way. Very new metal. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. I didn't hate the music or anything. It was alright. I know some people wanted to change AJ's, but I didn't really think that was going to happen either. But, yeah, the OC had some new music. They went against the Viking Raiders. They had to throw AJ Styles in the back because he got involved. Cedric came out and attacked him then as they went through the break. I thought that was a good tag match, to be honest, with both the Viking Raiders and or Machine or whatever they're calling them, War Machine, with them and the OC. But I thought it was a good match. I will say that. I didn't hate it or anything. Actually, I did like the match. It woke the crowd up. But, it's hard to take the OC seriously. I know they give them new music and new graphics and all this stuff. But it's, like I said, it's hard to take them seriously when they lose to almost everybody every week. They just look like job guys. AJ doesn't really look bad, but Gallows and Anderson just look like freaking job guys every week. So I'm not surprised they lost to the Viking Raiders. But why'd you give them new music now if they're going to lose again? So it's hard to take them seriously, to be honest. They hyped up a lot of Firefly Funhouse tonight. They then went to a sit-down interview with Michael Cole and Becky Lynch as they talked about Hell in a Cell. And that, Sasha was the first one in there, but Becky said she was also the first one to lose in there, too. Hell in a Cell. And, talked about, Bayley's going to be floating around ringside. But pretty much Hell in a Cell was to keep Banks and, Bayley out and, keep Banks in the match, okay? Because Banks was running through the crowd to Clash of Champions. And, saying that it was vintage Sasha, kind of imitating Cole right there. Vintage Sasha out there. And she was looking for a way out. And they talk about the $10,000 fine thing and says, listen, I was just repaying the favor to Sasha. So, not a bad promo from Becky. Next, Rusev versus, surprisingly, EC3. To be honest, I didn't know EC3 still existed here. I didn't even know he was still around. Listen, nobody cared for this match. This was basically a squash match. Pretty much right off the bat through this match. What did they start chanting? We want Lana as soon as the match even starts with Rusev. And then they start chanting Rusev Day. Listen, in a way, I feel like they've already kind of messed up Rusev's return since last week, involving him in that stupid Mike Bennett and Maria thing, which did him no favors. At EC3, people just do not care, okay? Like I said before, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know EC3 was still on the show. Because I'm like, oh, EC3 still exists. Okay. And, trust me, I'm already sitting here listening to people saying, like, this guy either needs to go to AEW or, hell, I would say go back to Impact, to be honest. Listen, I'm not really surprised what's happening with him right now. Like I said, I kind of wish the guy would go back to Impact, too, but I know that's not going to happen. But no one cared for this match, and it just, I don't know, man. People are already starting to turn on Rusev, and EC3 is just a freaking job guy. Hometown guy Rey Mysterio from San Diego, California, pretty much, talked about he was going to retire a few weeks ago, but he's still here, and that, his son Dominic convinced him to be here, and they dedicated this match to him. So I can tell you where that's gonna go. It's funny, I'm seeing a lot of these AEW commercials also after a lot of WWE shows from NXT to SmackDown, now Raw tonight, and I saw that after his promos. So yeah, more AEW commercials I'm seeing. Sasha Banks went against Nikki Cross. This wasn't a bad match. I was surprised it went kind of long. It pretty much ended up with Bayley getting involved, trying to help Sasha, but Nikki knocked her off the apron. Bliss pretty much came in, threw Bayley into the wall. Pretty much Sasha was able to get the bank statement in to win the match, and then she started stepping on Nikki. Next thing you know, Bliss got in the ring, and Sasha took her out with a backstabber and a bank statement also. So at least they didn't have Sasha and Bayley looking weak for once. I will say that too. You got to make the Hell in a Cell opponent look stronger. The women's tag titles continue to look like crap, and now they want to do next week Sasha versus Bliss, which I'm already seeing people let's go like Bloodsport out there. And before anybody, I most likely will say this next week. If you're gonna have Sasha versus Bliss, Sasha is the face by default, so you can't really tell me she's heel if she's going against Bliss. Nikki Cross, that's in a way understandable, but yeah, Sasha, she's the face going against Alexa Bliss, and don't argue with me about that. Styles was in the back, pretty much Gals and Anderson pretty much said they're going to learn not to mess with us. It doesn't matter if you're a superhero or you're a rock star, imitating Nakamura there, which I thought was kind of funny. So he was going to get ready for this Fatal 5-Way match tonight, but pretty much after that, they went to the Street Profits again, talk about the whole Fatal 5-Way match tonight, trying to hype that up. And then, Angel Dawkins talked about how Ricochet's face when, he said that Maria said that he was the father of the unborn child. Pretty much next thing you know, Miz comes in the picture. Pretty much talked about, he is the father. Well, he's actually the real father. He became a father the second time. He had his kid on Friday. Congratulations to him. He actually got a big pop for that, too, announcing the birth of his second child. So, congratulations to him. And he says, listen, I know I am the father of my child. Kind of take a shot at Mike Bennett right there, which I thought was funny. Both him and the Street Profits looked in the camera, pretty much I was breaking the fourth wall. I thought that was funny. But pretty much Miz also announced that next week on Raw, Miz TV segment is going to have Hulk Hogan, which got immediate boos. So this crowd, San Diego, is very smart. They booed the right person, you racist motherfucker. And Ric Flair, which I'm kind of surprised that maybe I guess he's not suing WWE anymore. So over the whole man gimmick. So yeah, he will be part of Miz TV next week. So yes, that's gonna happen. But hey, kudos to San Diego, man. Good. It's not like Hogan didn't have it coming. Hey, don't be racist, all right? So that's the more story there. But yeah, no. Yes, like I said, San Diego, smart crowd. They booed the right person. Racist motherfucker. So it's not like Hogan didn't have it coming. Let's see WWE try to protect that next week. But moving on from that, Lacey Evans versus Ember Moon. I don't know, man. I don't know. I said this to my friend. I said once again they buried Moon. I didn't really care for this match in general. I just didn't. I don't really care about this Lacey Evans versus Natalya feud. I just do not care of even Lacey Evans even doing sharpshooter and that. In a way, once again, they waste Moon. I know that on the commentary trying to put over, when the draft comes, Moon needs to be, a big thing. Hopefully when the draft comes and whatever show they get Moon on, I hope she does get a push. I really do, because I just don't know what to say half the time with this company. But like I said, people know before what allegedly that they hate Moon in the back, or Vince hates Moon for whatever reason. And in a way, I just kind of saw her getting buried out here again. I know someone told me that Evans pulled her hair to get her down, hit her with the woman's right, and do that stupid, horrible looking sharpshooter. But I don't know, man. It's like, and then what Moon, like I said, I'm trying to go past this whole wild card thing. It's a few more weeks for the draft, so I'm trying to throw the whole wild card out the window, because I know it doesn't make sense when you got the SmackDown people showing up on, anybody showing up on anybody's show at this point. But hey, the draft's gonna be in a few weeks, so I'm trying to, look past all of that right now. But they had talked to Natalya and pretty much, Evan saying she uses the sharpshooter, but she hasn't mastered the whole yet. So I don't really care about this feud, and I'm sure nobody really does either. So boom, go past that. They just need to stop burying Moon. They went to the Firefly Funhouse with Kane's picture on the wall. As next thing the rabbit and the pig are they're fighting over the Seth Rollins' toy action figure, and Wyatt said, sharing isn't easy, but if you love something too much, you become weak and vulnerable, and all sorts of negative feelings, disappointment, neglect, and loneliness comes to you. But he said he knows because some of the band that he loved the most. But the rabbit says, that's all good and everything, but what does this have to do with the toy or the action figure? Listen, we all what you heard Rollins did, as the rabbit said, but Wyatt pretty much said, he pretty much broke the action figure in half and started laughing, and then he said, "See you in hell," and he smiled and walked off. Next thing you know, after that, R-Truth and Carmella ran to the ring, 24/7 title time. They were being chased by the usual job guys for the title, but Carmella pretty much told them to stop. Listen, you've been chasing us all the time. We're getting tired of this. And listen, stop chasing Truth. And, pretty much on what they would get their clown friend to ride out and everything, but she just couldn't do it no more. So we need to end this. Truth and Carmella pretty much hugged, but then right after that, Carmella pretty much rolled up Truth to become the 24/7 champion. Yeah, this was coming sooner or later. I'm not really surprised at this. Okay, I'm not. Sooner or later, Carmella was gonna turn on Truth and win the title. But then after that, as Truth looked surprised, but he held her arm up in victory. Next thing you know, now the women job suspects come out. Sarah Logan, Tamina, the Iconics, and Dana Brooke, women that got nothing else to do. They started chasing Carmella then. I guess Truth was going to jump on Carmella's back, but since he was too heavy, the usual piggyback happened again, and they were out of there. So the 24/7 title continues, but now we're going to switch it over to the women. I know people hate this belt, but hey, we'll see where it goes. King Corbin came out, which he had a whole new background, video background and everything, and some music. Pretty much a mixture of his regular music and the King music they gave him. It looked like. I will say this. The King gear looked kind of cool. His custom King gear, the black scepter and the crown and the cool looking robe. I liked it. Okay? I did like it. You know, it should have been WWE 2K, as some people say, but they're not going to make it DLC. Once again, 2K is late on putting stuff in the game, it's going to look like. And he had a rematch against Chad Gable. Basically, once again, this was a very good match, almost like last week again, and it was very enjoyable. I will say one thing, they did wake up this crowd later on tonight. Chad Gable was actually winning over with the fans this time, so fans were chanting for his name. Corbin was getting some good heel heat out there. You know, it's hard to say about that half the time, too. But this was a very enjoyable match, almost like last week's. Only difference is right here is that what Chad had the ankle lock in, but Corbin pretty much uses Scepter for a DQ finish, and so I guess they weren't going to do another 50-50 booking just because Corbin won last week, and now Gable's going to win this week, but no, just a DQ finish. I didn't, you know, I liked the match. I guess they just want to wait until they give Gable the win. I'm assuming he's going to win sooner or later against Corbin, but this was a very good match. They did wake the crowd up out there, so they just were kind of disappointed in the finish of it though. But a good match. Then it went to another AOP video of who is AOP, as pretty much, you know, they talked about who they were and talked about how soft the teams are in WWE. And next thing you know, let's show you how tough we are. So they get up and they walk into the hallway, passing by some people, beat up some job guys which look like Heath Slater and No Way Jose. Camera cuts out, and then they go back into the room while they're still in their suits, saying that you know why, and now you know why no one won't fight AOP. So another good promo by them. Lisa still being off the Office of Pain. Of course, they interviewed several people about the Fatal 5-Way tonight, and they interviewed Ricochet, talked about everyone. You know, he's defied the odds. He wanted to prove that superheroes can be real. So the Fatal 5-Way with AJ Styles, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, Shinsuke Nakamura, which makes no sense since he's on SmackDown. He's the Intercontinental Champion. So why in God's name is he getting a Universal title shot in a way? And Bobby Roode out there. This was a good match. Honestly, it was the best match of the entire night. Which one thing I will say, which once again this crowd was smart, when Styles and Roode started working together, fans started chanting TNA, because both of those two are TNA originals, so I thought that was pretty good until AJ pretty much betrayed a bit in with a Pele kick when Roode tried to jump him. Pretty much first one was eliminated was Ricochet, which I'm sure a lot of people were pissed about that, but why was he in this match? I'm surprised he was in any type of Universal title shot, and Nakamura pretty much started killing him with a Kinshasa after he hit Roode with it, so Ricochet was gone first. As this match went on, then Ray hit a 619 on Nakamura after that. But pretty much Styles hit a brainbuster on Ray as he was going to go for the West Coast pop. After the brainbuster, Styles hit Nakamura with a phenomenal forearm, pretty much taking him out right after Roode hit a glorious DDT on him for the win. Pretty much the crowd started to rise up more and more as it became Rey Mysterio and Bobby Roode then. Ray went for another 619. He actually hit it, but Roode caught him then. It went with a spine buster then. Once again, Roode was set off with a glorious DDT, but Ray slipped him back into the ropes, hit him with 619, hit him with the frog splash for the win. Pretty much picking up the win right there. Big pop from Rey Mysterio. But once the hometown guy actually winning on his show. So usually when you're in your hometown, you lose all the time, but they made this look good right here, and I thought this was probably the best match of the night, this Fatal 5-Way, and it was very enjoyable, and he will be facing Seth Rollins next week for the Universal Championship. I'm looking forward to that match. That's going to be good. So, whatever this whole quote-unquote season premiere is, it's going to be a good match between Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins next week. Seth was pretty much warming up in the back as they asked somebody he's going to be facing Rey Mysterio next week, and he congratulated Rey Mysterio for the fight tonight, and he's earned his opportunity. It's a dream match for him. And but he's got to focus on the Fiend still and Braun Strowman. That's next. He's going to survive and propel. Brock Lesnar is going to be on the show next week. So I guess he's got to promote for Fox against Kofi Kingston in the next week for October the 2nd. But as we got to the main event with Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, it's not much to say about this match really, other than Strowman trying to dominate Seth to the point, several times. Seth hurt his leg at one point trying to do a suicide dive, but when they kind of got back into the ring, then it pretty much ended in a no contest because Strowman called him up for the power slam, but next, the lights start going out. Bray Wyatt shows up. He does this mandible claw thing on him once to take him down, and looked at Rollins, but pretty much then Fiend looked back at Strowman, and Strowman got up, who was crawling, and got face to face with him. Pretty much he put him back in the mandible claw, and started laughing. 5 people chanted "Holy shit!" And I really am saying 5 people. It wasn't that whole crowd, so don't tell me it was. And pretty much the Fiend looked at Strowman and he started to laugh as Seth Rollins was cowering in the corner almost, as lights went out, and pretty much all you could hear in the final moments of the show was Bray Wyatt's laughter. So 2 weeks in a row we end the show off with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, taking out someone else. At one point I said it made Strowman look weak, but he was able to get back up after the first mandible claw, unlike some other people, and they just go down after one time. But I figured this was going to happen. I really did, just because why were we doing this match? And they can't have Seth losing out there right now. So throw Wyatt back out there to take out Strowman. And you know what? I wouldn't be really surprised if they do it again with Rey Mysterio next week too, to cost him the Universal Championship match, or most likely after the match where Bray Wyatt will probably come out in the main event again, scare up Seth Rollins, and then put the mandible claw on Rey Mysterio. I would not be surprised by that next week if that happens though. But like I said, I had a lot of changes being on Raw. I did enjoy the Fatal 5-Way match. I thought Gable and Corbin was good again, even though it was kind of the same match from last week. Of course, Bray Wyatt won, being the better things on the show, of course. What else? I'm trying to name from this. Which was actually good, in my opinion. But, yeah, it was a lot of good parts on those I can name. I thought the War Machine and, the OC had a good match, but the worst parts of the night, if you ask me, was EC3 and Rusev, which 2 guys no one really cares about right now. Lacey Evans versus Ember Moon made no sense to me, and it was just bad. It really was. I don't know, just Barry Moon a lot. Yeah, like I said, if you want to say 24/7 shenanigans and that was bad, then okay. Or just seeing Strowman versus, Rollins again was bad if you're sick of looking at that match, or whatever you want to take from this. But yeah, like I said, it was some good, some bad on there if you ask me. But even Profits and Miz wasn't that bad of a segment. They still continued. Barry Mike Ben, I'm almost surprised we didn't have another segment with him, thank God. But like I said, they got a loaded show for next week. So their quote-unquote season premiere, as they want to call it. So, Brock's going to be on the show next week. Ray versus Seth Rollins, and Miz TV with Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Fuck them. So there you go on that. Like I said, the crowd was smart tonight, but San Diego wasn't a bad crowd, I will say that. But we'll see what happens next week on Raw. But other than that, we will be back for SmackDown. The final SmackDown, I should say, on USA tomorrow night for Tuesdays, because right after that, we will be moving for Fridays next week for SmackDown. So this will be the final Tuesday night SmackDown until they move on to Fox by next week. So we'll see what goes from that. But, other than that, Raw wasn't bad on some parts. Still had some bad parts still, but it wasn't bad all the way. I did enjoy the show to what I've seen, other than, Bray Wyatt and others. So, okay. But, there's still some things that are still shitty on this show. So, we'll see what happens next week, though, alright? I'm sure a lot of people are saying right now they cannot wait till the draft, okay? They cannot wait. But other than that, we will be back for SmackDown tomorrow. We will be back for NXT on Wednesday. And yeah, I gotta say, man, that Kenny Omega, man, that promo, that was hilarious today. Quote unquote kayfabe, but he will tell some truth about the NXT, by the way. Tell some truth to that too. But other than that, I'm gonna roll from here. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought about Monday Night Raw tonight. Just check out past reviews. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of busy things coming up pretty soon, especially with show wise and everything. A lot of shows coming up. But other than that, I'm going to roll from here. I will see you guys out later. I'm out of here. Peace out.